In our last episode, we dove into how matter is basically a constant flux of energy, always changing because of natural laws far beyond our control. Then we left off by touching on the idea that you can't really use matter-based tools to fully understand what's beyond matter, like the mind. To explain this, let's rewind a little to our planet Earth. Imagine you're a game character floating in space. Your mission is to find what is larger than Earth, but you have to discover it within Earth. You're suddenly pushed towards Earth. You're falling through space. You're falling fast, blasting past the atmosphere, scanning for a safe spot to land. Finally, you touch down. And without wasting a second, you jump straight into planning how to figure out what's larger than Earth, but within Earth. You travel far and wide, covering a ton of ground. But no matter how much you explore, the puzzle stays unsolved. Everything around you seems smaller than Earth itself. Frustrated, you find an open space to take a break. You wipe the sweat off your face and catch your breath. As you breathe in, something clicks. Most of what you're taking in is actually empty space. Even oxygen molecules are more space than matter. Zoom into an atom, and it's mostly space too. Now imagine this space as a massive invisible container, not just bigger than Earth, but big enough to contain our entire solar system. Not just bigger than a solar system, but linking billions of solar systems into a galaxy. And not just bigger than a galaxy, but connecting trillions of galaxies across the universe. It's the backdrop for everything. This is what the Buddha called the element of space, and it's surprisingly close to the quantum field in modern science. In Buddhism, space allows all matter to exist and interact, though it's formless and invisible. Similarly, the quantum field is the unseen fabric where matter appears and interacts. Both are like the stage, where the universe plays out its drama. Now, here's the plot twist. Neither space nor matter is the mind. Think of it this way. Both space and matter are like a hologram. The lit-up pixels? That's the matter element. And the volumetric display that projects the hologram? That's the space element. But here's the kicker. They're both just part of the projection. Everything's like a computer simulation. Just projections on a multidimensional screen, like a video game. In this game of life, the reason human civilization advanced so fast over the past 300 years is that we've been laser-focused on studying physical phenomena, the stuff we can actually measure and manipulate using matter-based tools. And guess what? It's worked. Thanks to our mastery of physics, we've been able to manipulate the 4 elements of matter with technology, invent cool stuff, and enjoy all kinds of physical comforts. But here's the catch. No matter how good we get at manipulating matter, we still can't directly see non-matter phenomena. Even modern science relies on indirect observations and mathematical models to prove things like the quantum field. There's no tool that can measure the quantum field directly. We can only make inferences about space, just like how you can try to figure out how an unlit pixel likely behaves by watching the behavior of the lit-up ones. Just like space, the mind element is beyond matter, and you can't really understand the mind with matter-based tools. Now, some people might argue that, unlike space, the mind can be measured because they believe the mind is just the brain. But here's where it gets tricky. The mind is connected and intertwined with the body, but it's not the brain or the body. The mind uses the brain to interface and control the body, but the mind itself isn't the brain. Sure, you can build complex machines like EEGs or MRIs to measure the mind-body connection, but that's an indirect approach. It's like trying to see your whole body from a blurry reflection in a tiny piece of broken glass. If the mind was really the brain, then experiments like Yale University's BrainX should have been able to re-spark global brain activity and bring back consciousness. But guess what? It couldn't. BrainX only reignited limited brain functions. Impressive, yes, but it's also evidence that you can't transfer identity and consciousness through the brain. Once a person is dead, the connection between the mind and body is severed, and the brain loses self-awareness, even if you could keep the biological matter alive. Think of the body as a vehicle, with the brain as its sophisticated control system. It's the steering mechanism, the instrument panel, all the controls. And the mind is the driver. Whole brain preservation experiments might keep the vehicle's control system intact, but they don't maintain the driving experience. It's like having a well-maintained car with no driver. But unlike our driver-vehicle analogy, the mind can't just jump into different bodies within a single lifetime. The mind is fully engaged in experiencing reality through its current vehicle's systems. The mind only changes vehicles at the end of each life, dying from one body to be reborn into a new one. If the mind was just the brain, then rebirth would be impossible. In the East, where meditation practice is widespread, rebirth is a widely held belief. It's not uncommon to meet meditators who have seen their past lives. And although talk of past lives is rare in the US, researchers at the University of Virginia have studied thousands of cases of children worldwide who remember a previous life. These kids can recognize and recall people, places, even phobias and attachments under controlled conditions. Think of these recollections of past lives as accessing operational logs from previous vehicles, even though you're in an entirely new one. It's a concept that challenges conventional neuroscience. The phenomenon of rebirth wouldn't be possible if the mind was destroyed with the brain. According to Dhamma, the mind has transitioned between different bodies across countless past rebirths. The mind is extremely powerful and experienced. However, its ability to apply this accumulated wisdom is limited by the capabilities of its current vehicle. Imagine the mind inhabiting the body of an ant. It's like operating a vehicle with severely limited functionality. An ant can't think deeply or meditate. But a human body? That's a highly advanced vehicle, equipped for intricate mental processes, philosophical contemplation, and meditation practices. We've lived through countless lives, each one like a unique game profile. Our minds are gamer profiles, uploaded into a massive metaverse matrix. Think of matter and space elements, like the holographic projection in a game. But the mind, that's the hidden mechanics behind the scenes. It's like the computation running everything, processing the code so the characters can move, but the characters can never see what's happening on the motherboard. In this episode, we're building on what we know about matter elements and leveling up by learning about space and mind elements. Together, they form the foundation of reality in Buddhism. We also explained why matter-based tools can't fully explain the mind. It's like the projections on screen trying to figure out the projector. At best, it's like trying to taste food by looking at it. Not gonna happen. So, if you want to crack the code of your mind, the best tool you've got is your mind. In the next episode, we're going even deeper to break down the computer-like mechanics of the mind. That's where the real insights are waiting. If you don't want to miss future episodes, hit that subscribe button. We've been studying and practicing Dhamma for almost 30 years, and our goal is to make it super easy for you to understand. If this helped you out, we would appreciate it if you can give it a like and share it with others so they can learn too. Also, we love hearing from you, so don't be shy. Drop your questions in the comments below. We're excited to dive into topics that matter to you. So, the more questions you ask, the better our content gets. Your curiosity might just inspire our next future video ideas. And hey, we can't wait to see you in the next episode. Until then, stay mindful.
We face the shadows, we've chased the light through countless days and endless night, seeing truth beneath the veil, where all desires start to pale. The path we've walked was never straight, but led us to this final gate. With wisdom born from mindful eyes, we see the self's mirrored disguise. Now the last step's burning bright. No more clinging, no more fight. In letting go we find the way, the dawn of freedom, the end of sway. Together we'll embrace what's true, no longer grasping what we knew. Are you ready to see beyond the flame? Nibbana calls, it's just a name.